What is going on, everybody? I am back. It is your boy PTK Blam on this beautiful Saturday afternoon with another special episode of the Shot Podcast. I've been on about a month hiatus, everybody. I do apologize, but we are back, guys, with a special edition. As a matter of fact, E3 edition of the podcast here, man. We got people live in the chat, everybody. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for showing support and continued love here on my channel with the podcast. I know I've been away for a while, and you guys still continue to show me support and show me love. So thank you guys, everybody in the community that rocks out, and everybody here on the panel. So I was going to wait a little bit longer to try and see if I have some of my other guests file in, but fuck it. We just going to go ahead and start. I got the three amigos. We're going to rock out. Whoever I sent, DM with the link, you guys just jump in as you kind of file in. So first things first, guys, let's go ahead and go around the panel. Let everybody introduce themselves. You guys should know these two gentlemen. If you don't, get familiar with them because they'll be here every weekend. So go ahead. We're going to start with the man that does not need an official introduction.
I'm sorry, man.
GKB there?
Oh, you broke up, bro. I didn't hear that in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's up, everybody?
Go ahead, GKB.
GKB. It is freaking E3 weekend. I am so freaking hyped. We just watched the EA one, and I'm super freaking excited. It wasn't the greatest, but it got the party going, and I'm just freaking super hyped, man. Glad to be here on the Shot Podcast. Let's go.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but he's a little excited. So, yeah, it's E3 weekend, guys. We're hyped. We need the energy in the podcast today. We need you in the chat. We need you guys to ask us as many fucking questions as possible, guys. I am all backed up. I've been dying to get on the podcast. I haven't had time, so let's fire away. So my other guy here, got my boy Predator, who is fresh out of the bunker, fresh from overseas. Give yourself a shout out, brother.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm not really fresh, man. I've been back about 6 weeks now, maybe 5, but
you still fresh.
Yeah. Oh, man, glad to be here, man. I've been starting to miss the Shot Podcast, man. I thought you were MIA for a while. But hey, I missed all of E3 this morning, the EA stuff, but I still lucked at some videos and stuff like that. But yo, man, let's get into this shit today because it's gonna be an awesome week for gamers and everybody out there that's enjoying especially tomorrow. God, I can't wait for tomorrow. Let's get this shit going, man.
All right, now I'm gonna tell you guys something. If I'm botting out, let me know. Because I know I've had issues with that before. So just stop me. Let me know if I'm botting. Okay, guys? And I'm cool for now, though, right? Everybody stream. You guys can hear me fine?
Yeah, right now you sound good.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's dive right the fuck into it. We're not going to give Google the chance to mess this up. So let's dive right into it. First things first, if you guys have not been living under a rock, you guys know EA just held their press conference. So E3 has officially today kicked off. So I want to go around the panel. I know you didn't get a chance to watch it, Predator, but just based on what you saw, what you got caught up on, I want to get you guys' opinions, what you guys saw the EA show, and just kind of grade them if you can. We're going to go A through F. Go ahead and drop a grade on them. So go ahead. We're going to start with you, GKB, because I know you watched it live because you had a live stream going. So what are your thoughts on the EA press conference?
I guess my overall thoughts it was kind of meh. I mean, it had some really good high points on it, but for the most part, it was just EA being EA again. They really need to figure out this whole E3 thing and figure out that we don't need two announcers talking for literally 30 minutes about fucking esports. Like we don't need that shit. We just need to see the games and we'll get hype on our own and stuff like that. But what they showed Madden, long shot. They show some really cool stuff for Battlefield 1 that I'm really excited for. That new DLC. I thought that looked fantastic. You could be some mounted what they call them.
I can't remember the name.
I think they were Hussar Cavalry or something. But man, they had a fucking spear, and you could spear other people and fucking ride away with them motherfuckers on your spear. That is fucking amazing. And you get to play females. They're having a bunch of new maps, and they're having night maps now, which is just super awesome that they're supporting the Battlefield community the way they are. Then they went on to FIFA esports. FIFA looks fantastic. The esports stuff I didn't really care about. Need for Speed Payback is another big one that I thought was really cool. It's very Fast and the Furious, go out there and chase down these things and all that kind of stuff. Had some really cool visuals, a lot of customization where you build your car from like the scrap yard up to this like high powered car. That sounds really awesome. Then the next one, the new IP that they showed was their EA Originals, which is like supporting like independent developers and stuff like that. It's called A Way Out. I thought it was really cool. It's from the guys who did Brother: A Tale of Two Sons, and that's really interesting on its own because that game is a big departure from what they're doing now. It did have some elements, but it looked like a Prison Break game, and it has like co-op. It had like this Mafia 3 Uncharted and a little bit of Tale of Two Sons in it, and it was really cool. And the other big thing that I took away was, of course, Battlefront 2, which looks absolutely absurdly good. Day one buy, like in our stream, like everybody was like day one, absolutely. And then BioWare's new IP, The Anthem, looked fantastic from that little bit of teaser. We gotta wait till tomorrow, guys, to see it. Buddy. It looks awesome, man. I can't wait for it. It looks like a Destiny kind of competitor, so I'm super hyped. Like I said, EA show was kind of meh, but I got the train going for E3, so I'm super hyped anyway.
Nice. So I think I'm gonna go next, just to kind of give Predator a chance to get his thoughts together. But for me, I did watch your stream, by the way. You guys put on a great stream, by the way.
Yeah, I saw you in there, bro.
Yeah. So I was all in the chat, man, sliding those DMs.
Yeah,
No, but I thought the show, if I had to grade it, I give it about a C-. The pacing was completely off. I felt like they took too long with FIFA. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's the biggest sport in the world by far. I understand that they have to take the time to do that because everybody besides this country, it's a big deal. It's a big deal everywhere else besides here.
Blam, do you think like they were, because I felt the same way, they were kind of disconjointed. Do you think it was because a lot of their stuff's going to be shown on other stages, so they really didn't know what the hell they were going to talk about, honestly?
It felt that way. The pacing was terrible. I agree. They kind of bookend 30 minutes worth of FIFA, then 30 minutes worth of Star Wars at the end. So it was like a bookend and a bunch of like small stuff mashed in the middle. So it didn't really feel like a cohesive show. I was excited about A Way Out. That game looks fucking fantastic. Somebody cut those guys a fat check because that looks like a true AAA title. The scope of the game is completely different than to Tell of Two Brothers. That was more of an indie game, if you guys don't know. So some EA cut them a fat check and got them in there. And I've always said this too. We talked about this about 4, 5, 6 podcasts ago about people taking time to actually utilize these indie developers. I mean, there have been so many great indie games coming out of this generation. And we talked about, I know GKB, you stressed that also too, that people need to, you wish Microsoft and Sony find some of those small developers and actually put some money behind what they're doing, or fund them to make bigger games because they got a lot of fucking great ideas. So I was hyped for that. Anthem, don't even get me started. Roof, when I saw that, then he mentioned Scorpio specifically when he was talking about Madden. So we know EA is behind Scorpio for sure. We know they got their hands all over that thing because they mentioned it by name today.
Yeah, so I was Madden stuff
the Madden, they showed a little screenshot of the Madden on Scorpio. I thought was that PC or Scorpio when they showed that character model?
They said it was Scorpio stuff, so yeah, I'm super hyped for that, man.
So yeah, it looked amazing. Absolutely. And then not only that, the other 2 games too. I think not A Way Out, but Anthem also said that if you read the bottom of the actual like screen that they showed, it kind of hints towards that the definitive version is going to be on Scorpio. If it is in fact a multi-plat, it probably will be. So it's EA. They don't do fucking exclusives. You gotta literally, back the Brinks truck up to get an exclusive out of EA. But other than that, I mean, we got the Star Wars Battlefront. That looked fantastic. Need for Speed looked great. That actually came out of left field for me. I'm not the biggest Need for Speed fan.
Back to Anthem though, Blam, like I think this is a smart move on Microsoft's part, right? Because I know we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I just wanted to touch on it for a second. Like we know Destiny is going to be with like Sony. So what better way to combat Destiny but with a new kind of, Destiny-esque game from BioWare? Like that's a great developer on its own. And just from what they showed with the wall and the monsters, and it's like once you leave the wall, it's like a whole new world kind of thing. And dude, that had me hooked like, instantly.
You know what it reminded me of a little bit? It was almost Gears, like Gears, a little bit like the tone and the way armor look and things like that. It reminded me of Gears a little bit. So I'm super hyped for that. I don't know if it's an exclusive. I doubt it's an exclusive. If it is, it's probably just like a timed or just a maybe marketing deal. But you're
if it's
absolutely
time,
right.
bro. We better get a year fucking DLC for Xbox fans. That's
like Destiny, yeah. So I mean, you're true. You're right. What better way to combat Destiny with another brand new IP? I was hearing that it would maybe kind of like an MMO kind of game, but so as Destiny has like MMO like hybrid. So yeah. So and overall, I was pretty satisfied with the show. The pacing could have been better, but I'm super excited for some of the small things we got, especially Anthem and A Way Out. So Fred, it is on you. I don't know if you got a chance to actually just read about anything or maybe look at some highlights. If not, just to kind of give your opinion on what you maybe liked about the show.
You know, I really didn't get a chance. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch the the EA part. I was out doing family. So like anybody out there with family, like you have to make sacrifices, you know, like, so I sacrificed today so I could watch the Microsoft version tomorrow. Yeah. So I had to get out I had to go do some family stuff today. But I mean, from the way it sounds, I really didn't miss that much. I mean, the sports titles, I know a lot of people I'm friends with aren't really big sports fans as far as gaming goes. I do love Madden, but I'm not a big NBA NBA Live fan. But like the Madden screenshots that I saw look amazing. I'm hoping it's going to be one of those play anywhere titles. I know they don't typically put Madden on PC. I'm actually surprised they didn't show any like PGA stuff, like, you know, like Rory McIlroy. I do love golf too. I like playing golf games every now and then in my spare time. But so I didn't see those games. I didn't get a chance to get too much into Need for Speed, but I did like the what was that? The game Anthems? What it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked really you know, promising. So I'm looking forward to seeing tomorrow. So we know that's another one's going to be on Microsoft stages tomorrow with Madden. FIFA, again, it's the world's biggest, you know, sport, you know, so I kind of expected to see that anyway. I think most of the stuff they showed us, with the exception of Anthem and that new game that you guys were talking about with the 2-player co-op, was refreshing. It's new. And like GKB said, like, it's stuff I want to say right now. I'm going to hold off until later on when we start talking about Anthem and that game. God, I can't remember the name of this damn game for some reason. What's the 2-player game they had on there?
Way Out.
Way Out.
Yeah. So I'll save some of that stuff for the other topics that we have at the end. But it, like, I mean, I didn't see the conference, but just from the talk that I'm hearing from everybody, it was just kind of like it was all right, you know, like everything we expected, all the sports titles and 2 new games. And that's it. I mean, and there really wasn't much else to their conference that I saw that stood out. You know, it just seemed like they could have easily not done their own conference and just kind of went on the stages with Microsoft or Sony and been done with it. I do like they're bringing FIFA to the Switch, even though it's going to probably be the same price, missing a bunch of content. I saw you post some stuff on Twitter, Blam, about that.
Yeah, man. Teasing again, man. I keep telling you guys, man. They get their foot in the door and say, "Oh, we're all good. We're Nintendo. We're completely harmless," and then they fuck you over right after that.
The people still buy the shit out of it, bro.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But, you know, and I mean, I know it's like I don't want to get into the whole Nintendo concept yet, but like, it's a handheld, you know, that happens to kind of mask itself as a console. It's a handheld first. That's why I look at it, because I don't play it as a console. I play it like I want to take a shit or something like that. But like, it's one of those games, like, you're not going to get the full game. I don't expect to get any full games of a Switch version of any multi-plat game.
Are you okay with that though?
If it's not full price, I'm okay with that. But again, I'm not buying every fucking thing on the Switch either. Like, the multi-plats I'm buying are going to be
only buying exclusives on there.
Yeah, I'm buying the exclusives, and that's what I got it for the exclusives. I mean, like, I bought the that NBA game they have, that basketball game they have on there. But again, that's like a quick game. You know, you can get a game in while you're dropping a deuce, and you can just turn it back off. You know, but like anything like if Madden was on there, I'd never touch Madden on there. I don't travel like that anymore, where I need to carry a handheld with me everywhere I go. So in this case, like, the Switch is perfect for those short, quick games. And again, I'm sorry to change the subject real quick, but like, it's good for those short, games that are just gonna last like 5-10 minutes long, get in, get out, and put the shit away. Other than Zelda and Mario and stuff, Mario, stuff like that. I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna be playing it that much. I mean, I got it when I was deployed, and I played Zelda, which I really wasn't impressed with. I love Zelda. I just haven't put a lot of time in it. That's my own fault. And I love Mario Kart. And it's like I get in Mario Kart, I play it, I put it down, and that's what it's basically there for. Like I said, it's a handheld that masks itself as a console, and that's what they're trying to do, and that's what they're selling it as to me, and it works in their favor. That's why they're selling so many of those units, but it's going to burn out at some point in time. But back to EA. Sorry to switch subjects on you. I know we're going to see a lot more from them tomorrow. Oh, I didn't even talk about Star Wars. I loved Star Wars. I loved it. I watched, like GKB said, I think we were talking in pre-chat before, like a little bit. Like I saw a lot of the gameplay footage prior to E3 of this game. And I was not a Battlefront fan. I didn't like Battlefront. I don't think maybe it was just like maybe it was the
I like the OG Xbox Battlefront.
Yeah,
the newest one. I did.
The newest one, no, I didn't like it. I think maybe it was just the marketing that they used and the
probably.
I think that's what it was. That I didn't enjoy it. Like it was like a short. It was like I felt like I was overpaying for something that I should have gotten more of, and so I didn't purchase it. I paid it like on my 10-hour access, whatever. But I didn't buy it. But I may actually pick this next one up. It looks like a really decent game. They're giving you free DLC, which I like. Man, if they have
fantastic, man.
Yeah, and if they have all the maps that you're expecting, like they have more than just like 5 maps, and it's probably gonna be a purchase for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, big shout out to the 30 plus people watching us right now. You guys are awesome. What's up, Gunny? Easy Man, Beta Cypher, Black Tiger, all you guys.
We got
Togos.
Black Tigers in here. So got a Foxfire in here too. She's lurking, creeping around there somewhere.
Yeah, and if I'm ignoring anybody in chat, man, I'm sorry. I'm stuffing my face at the same time. I haven't eaten all day. So
yeah, man, I totally agree. Like Battlefront, like just stole the show for me, man. Like that game just looked good. Yo, and I can tell you right now, I'm gonna spend all my battle points on fucking Darth Maul because that dude was straight ripping in that
should
game,
look great.
Man. Oh
yeah,
my
that
God.
should look great. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. Don't get me wrong, but that shit looked fire. It looked like pure fire. I'm more excited about the fact that they look like it. It appears that they've bounced back from their mistakes that they made on Battlefront 1. The no campaign and some of the other things.
Well, they did that.
DLC
did you see that screen, bro, where it was like all the tweets of like, "Where's the campaign?" and this, that,
yeah,
they're like, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah, they kind of made fun of themselves, which is cool. Which means that they've been listening and they see what everybody's saying. So I'm more excited about diving into finally a single player Star Wars game that's done right.
Yeah.
So I'm super hype about it.
And that's what I'm excited for, like Sony's, because I think they're going to show off the campaign there because they only showed the multiplayer at EA's. So I'm excited to see where that goes, and what the main character and their motives and all that kind of stuff is. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. So we started out that was a great topic to start with, guys. Once again, if you guys did not get an opportunity to check out EA's conference, I'm sure it's up on YouTube. I'll maybe have if you could post a link, GKB, just in case somebody's got the opportunity to watch it. We'll go ahead and just post a quick link in the chat. You guys can click on it if you didn't see it live. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic. So the next topic is an important topic for us here and everybody watching. For Xbox's E3 press conference, hell the fuck yes. It is finally here. Tomorrow will be lit as fuck, man. I'm super excited. So I'm going to go around a panel. And not only am I asking the panel this question, you guys let me know in the chat. What are your predictions tomorrow for Microsoft's E3 press conference? Fine. I don't give a fuck if it's a pie in the sky prediction or if it's something that you maybe got an insider in on, or whatever the case may be. Air quotes. I know you guys can't see me, but air quotes on the insider part. So we're gonna go ahead and that's what we're gonna talk about today. I started with you last time, so we're gonna start with you, Predator. Predictions for Microsoft's E3 press conference, man. How are you feeling?
I've been trying to avoid Twitter this week.
Same here.
And I keep popping my head and I'll see something. Obviously, Scorpio is going to be the biggest announcement. And I don't know. I think this is another question you have coming up later, so I don't want to get too much into that. But Scorpio is going to be the biggest part. And I think I mentioned this on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, and I know not everybody follows me, but I asked the question if everybody thought that, like, maybe Microsoft was kind of shying away from these deals, these games that have been out for like years, like the FIFAs and stuff like that, because those games are going to sell themselves. If they're trying to get new marketing rights for newer, younger franchises, and I think we're going to see a lot of younger stuff, games that are only like one or two, actually brand new games and games that only have like maybe they're on their sequel now. Not these games that have been out for like 5 or 6 years. They had like a 5 or 6 iterations of the same game. I think they're trying to shy away from that and try and bring in some new blood and get the cheaper, stuff to market at the time. So so that's why I really want to see first. I want to see some more like the PC integration, maybe Steam. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings about that. I mean, I have a prediction they're going to at least try to start dragging some PC games over, like that game they have out now, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I hope to see that on the stage, at least have it talked about during E3 about it coming. I already know it's coming to Xbox, but at least talk about that aspect of it, like some of the PC games are trying to port over to the Scorpio. Because if you look at the Scorpio and what it's basically doing, and what I've heard about like from other developers and stuff like that, it's really just a PC, So getting these games over that are developed with UWP on the PC side should be very easy to kind of transfer over to the Scorpio side. So that now, as far as games go, I want to see Fable. I think everybody expecting to see Fable, but I'm not going to get my hopes up.
I hope so.
Just for the simple fact that they just kind of, if it's a teaser, I'm great. If it's a gameplay, even better. But if they don't show anything, I don't want to hype myself up for it right now and assume that they're going to show it, because I think everyone keeps saying that and everyone's starting to believe that. Backing up real quick again, the Scorpio, the price. And I think that's the biggest question everybody has right now. And obviously we'll get that answer tomorrow. But that is like, if they don't show any games, they had 15 minutes on stage. I think the price would be the biggest impact for me anyway. And for, I guess, the mainstream guys out there that love Xbox and the fanboys that hate Xbox, that's going to be the line in the sand with most people, the price. It isn't even the games at this point, because I think everybody knows it's a powerful console. We know games are going to come. They're going to come at the end of this year and all through next year. I mean, they're not putting all this money and making this beefy console to not produce games for it. But the price is what's going to make people come over to the Xbox side. If they have a shitty price on this console, I guarantee you it's not going to sell. Not the way that we want it to anyway. I mentioned Fable. I know I wanted to see, obviously, Crackdown, the tech behind Crackdown. I think that's going to be like, they're going to spend a lot of time on Crackdown. I want to see what Rare's working on other than Sea of Thieves. I think I saw a tweet that said they're not bringing anything else out there. But you know how E3 conferences are. People talk about things they're working on, even though they don't really talk about them on stage. You'll hear about other things that are happening behind the woodwork. So I want to hear something about what the Fable IP is. And I want to see if Black Tusk is working on something else. Obviously looking forward to Forza 7. I think that's going to be a big game. And like another thing with Forza, if you're not a huge Forza fan, like the cover art, they want to know what kind of cars are in the cover art. So what their main vehicle is going to be in the game. So I'm looking forward to seeing that too. They usually have it on stage or something like that. Let's see. I don't want to steal GKB's thunder, but I'm hoping to see Splinter Cell there, Assassin's Creed there.
GKB was coming with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like basically, I think because they've been so quiet as far as games have gone this beginning half of the year, that if they don't do, obviously Scorpio and come up with like fucking 10 to 15 games on their stage, even if it's like I don't say a bunch of indies, some PC games mixed in with a couple of indie games like Ori 2, stuff like that. Ashen is another game I'm looking forward to. I've been hyping that game up for a while. Mixing some of those indies. Cuphead, we should get a date for that.
Cuphead for sure. I'm hoping Cuphead, low key, as they say, is going to be available like tomorrow, like to purchase or something. It's going to be one of those. In there.
As far as hardware goes, they already said they're not showing VR here, but they will talk about it, I'm sure, during E3. Not necessarily on the stage. But again, like, some of this stuff happens behind the scenes. They're talking to like, journalists and stuff like that. We'll get some information about that. I've heard rumors about another controller, like another another controller with the console itself, and also a possible another Elite type controller. Yeah. Maybe the mouse and keyboard stuff. I mean, they have so much stuff that everyone's been talking about for the last couple of years that no one's like, we haven't seen. The DX12 stuff, the freaking cloud stuff, like all this stuff should happen at this E3. And if it doesn't happen at this E3, everyone's gonna give us. And I think they were talking about this on Mooch's channel the other day. Like, we can't come up and be like, well, next E3. We can't say that. This is the E3. If you don't show us everything at this E3 that you have, then you're gonna lose a lot of people. So that's not really a prediction, but I mean, I think a lot of stuff I just mentioned is stuff that we plan on seeing anyway. I know they probably have maybe one or two other IPs we've not discussed, maybe hiding, like I said, like the rare stuff, the Black Tusk stuff, maybe the Playground Games game they're working on might make a appearance or at least talked about while they're there. I want to see what Studio Gobo's working on. If it's not going to be Fable, what is it? And then like a lot this Japanese games we're supposed to be getting, whether it's the Lost Odyssey 2, the Ninja Gate, and I keep hearing rumors about.
I low-key forgot all about that. Phil did make a recent visit out there too about months ago.
I mean, I know I covered a lot of quick stuff, man. I want to leave a little bit for GKB, so I'll let him go ahead and go.
Oh, that's okay, man.
Not for sure. For sure, man. It's hard to narrow, man. It's a lot of shit that we don't know. A lot of will be answered tomorrow. So go ahead, GKB. Fire it off, brother.
Yeah, like the first thing I want to start off with is like I'm super hyped for Microsoft. One is because Phil came out and said, "Hey, we're extending the E3 because we're going to show you a shit ton more games." And I don't think he's going to come out and say that for like another 10 minutes. I think it's going to be like another 30 minutes, and I think he's going to round it up to 2 hours. And I really think that they had a plan for like what they did a couple years ago with Gamescom having a different conference, and I think he's realizing now that I think E3 is the big place to show everything you got because they need to do that, right? None of this showing it on extra on other shows that they're going to be doing throughout. He's going to put it all out on the table right now, and I think that's the perfect idea. Of course, I think they're going to lead off with the Scorpio. I think they're gonna go right through that and being like, here it is, here's what it does, and this is how much, and this is when you can get it. And I think he's probably going to do it about that fast. I don't want him to touch too much on the Scorpio because I want him to get right into the games and show us why we need the Scorpio. That's the most important thing. Don't dwell on the freaking specs like some other people on another platform. Okay. Then I think Forza 7 is going to be there. You're going to see, the big Forza Crackdown, State of Decay 2, Cuphead. You're going to see all those. I think you're going to see Capcom's new stuff going to be there. We already know BioWare's new game is going to be there. What else? I keep saying like the VR stuff. They're not showing VR on their stage, but I think at Bethesda's they're going to show their VR, and they're probably going to say it's Scorpio ready. You could pretty much use it on Scorpio. And the reason why I say that is because Forza, I think, is a really good game to go ahead and get people hype for the VR experience, because I think racers and flying games and all that kind of stuff, space games and stuff, fit well in VR, and people can grasp that kind of concept. I don't know that for sure. I'm just going out there on a limb. I think we're going to see Assassin's Creed as well. I think Splinter Cell is going to be there, like Predator said. But it's do or die for Microsoft. Like, I was one of those guys that Predator was talking about. Like, there's no next year. It's now. Like, you have to do this shit now and show us. And I'm super hyped and I'm super excited. I'm going to go out there too, and I think the Scorpio is going to be $399. I was worried there for a couple of tweets and stuff that I've seen from some respectable people, but I'm going to stick with it and say $399 for that. But yeah.
Okay, so you're going out on a limb. You're going to stick with it?
I'm going to stick with it, bro. I've been rocking it for a couple months now.
I respect that. I respect that. So my take on Microsoft's E3, man. First things first,
you disappeared there.
Blot it out. Blam, can't hear you.
Hopefully he heard us.
He's that excited, man. That's what it is.
He was so hype, he broke the internet for himself.
So,
what about you, everybody
Hello?
in the chat? There you go. There you go, man.
All right. Am I here?
yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry about that. You guys, the Google guys, are not with me today, so I apologize once again. So my take on E3 as far as the Microsoft press conference is, first of all, I'm super excited for it. I'm super excited for the Scorpio. Price is going to be the biggest thing. We all know that. I'm still saying $399, $499, maybe if they do 2 SKUs. And that's another thing I wanted to run by. You think doing multiple SKUs would be a problem for the Scorpio?
I don't think it would be a problem as long as, like, they did with the S, like they did the SKUs too. They were like, here's our most expensive one first, and then later on we're gonna have the thing. I don't think it's a problem having 2 SKUs, but I think they need to go with the cheaper one first,
Okay.
or have them both come out at the same time and let people decide what they want at that point.
Yeah.
I don't mind
Okay.
either way.
I didn't like the launch the way they did it last time. I got the 2 terabyte, but but I would have liked them to give me an option on either one at the time. I think I just got the 2 terabytes because I found it bad enough. But and this is what I hate about new console releases. Like, if you just wait a little bit longer to get it, you get all the good stuff. You get the price drop. You might get a bundle. You might get a custom Crackdown 3 console. I'm not saying wait, but I'm saying there's benefits to waiting. And if they're gonna have a custom console like they did with the Gears one, like they came out the S, they came out the 2 terabyte and the 1 terabyte, and then like later on they announced the Gears one, and I was like, fuck, I could have just waited and got the Gears, but I was being impatient. And even like with the original launch of the launch of the original Xbox One, like I felt like we kind of got, I guess I'm entitled, but like got kind of scammed, I guess, a little bit, because you get the console and you get a sticker, and then like if you'd have waited, you'd have got Forza.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck, I waited for Forza. But like, I mean, and that's the bad thing about getting into these consoles, like early in the early iterations of them, is like you get to test them, you get the higher price, but you don't get all the benefits that everyone is going to get. Let's say it comes out in October or even August. Like, I doubt it's going to happen in August, but let's say it comes out in October, and then if you wait till the end of November, early December, you might get a Black Friday deal, you might get a bundle. If you wait till the beginning of the year, you'll definitely get another, because they're trying to sell it now. You'll definitely get another game with it, at least. So, but launching 2 SKUs, it depends on how they do it. Like, I already have a controller, I already have a hard drive, so give me a cheaper version of the Scorpio without that shit. Let me buy that fucking $300 version.
And that's where I was going. That's where I was going with it. If they decide to do that, make the $399 version, and then they have like another $449 version, maybe with the 2 terabyte hard drive or something, because we know it comes with 1, right? I think standard is 1 terabyte.
Yep.
So maybe they have a 2 for an additional $50, something like that. I think that will work just fine. I don't think people will have a problem with that. Now, as they get closer to that $499 mark, I think that's kind of worrying a lot of people. I'm not necessarily worried about that, because I know that the console is worth far more than the $500 if they decide to go with that price point. So I'm not really concerned about that at all. So once they get that out the way, the games are the next biggest thing. I predict. I've been saying the Fable thing for a while now, and I'm still on that boat that they kept the IP around for a reason. So I hope that they use those assets and they gave them to maybe Rare or what's that other company that you were mentioning, Studio Gobo or something like that. So yeah, maybe they give it to them, and they working on it. Whatever the case may be, we need to see a new Fable. Love to see it. Obviously, we're going to see Sea of Thieves. I don't know if we'll see any new gameplay, because we've seen it 2 or 3 E3s in a row now. So I don't know what they would do. Maybe they'll just have it on as a demo there at E3. I hope they don't actually show it on stage unless they got like some new story mode or something like that they're trying to show off.
From what we're hearing about rumors and stuff, it's actually supposed to be showing like a big boss battle type kind of thing.
Ooh, that'll be neat. I'll take a boss battle, a Kraken or something like that. I'll take that all day. Okay, cool. And then I think another game that's kind of been looked over just due to the Scorpio stuff and all of this other stuff going on is State of Decay 2, and I think that game is going to be fucking.
Yeah, I think it's going to be super fun.
A great game. I think it's going to definitely leave a big mark in the Xbox community, because those kind of games, if they're done properly, tend to last for a while. They tend to create this community that sticks around. You got a game like what's it, H1Z1, I think is that game.
Yeah.
This core community that they're not going to go anywhere. They love the game for what it is, and so that kind of reminds me of this game in a way. And I know the game's going to be massive. They've already come out and said that it's like 3 times as big as the first one, as far as like map size and area wise. So hype for that. Obviously, Anthem. I don't know what the fuck it is at this point, but Even if it's a time exclusive, just marketing deals, it's nice to see them getting behind that. And I told you guys, and GKB and Predator, you guys can back me up on this. They're using that money that they're not spending on all these marketing deals to put towards some other games or new ideas. And I said that, because they haven't been aggressively going after anything like any third party marketing deals. Sony has Call of Duty, they got fucking what else?
Everything. You
they have
say
Destiny,
everything.
they got
everything.
everything.
My only rebuttal to that, Blam, is like, yeah, I totally get that, and that's awesome, like new IPs, but they're just untested IPs. It's hard to prop up
it's
your
hard to
console with.
Say the trajectory.
Well, what better way to get your console out there by bringing fresh new games running on a brand new system versus
people get scared with that stuff though, man.
Every single year, like the Maddens, the FIFAs, the I mean, we don't get Destiny every year, but like the games we've been playing for years. I honestly think that they're trying to shift their focus away from spending again. Like, let's say, I don't know how much the FIFA deal was, but let's say they had to spend like $1 million on the FIFA deal, right? And that's a big franchise. Now they're gonna probably make some money off of it, obviously, by marketing with them, but they can get a cheaper game like a Shadow of Mordor for half that price and market it, and it's gonna look better, obviously, on this console. And people have not played, like a lot of people didn't play the original,
the first Shadow.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't play that, so it's like a new, like, oh man, this game looks really good. I should have played this last generation. So they might pick it up because of that, versus knowing that all these multi-plats that we see now that are coming, that Sony has marketing rights with, they're gonna look better. They're still coming out on the Xbox One. So and I think you're right. I think they're shifting their focus from getting into all of these marketing deals with all these older franchises by spending all this extra money to get them, because I'm pretty sure that price hasn't stayed the same over the past 10 years. It's just gone up and up and up and up and up. So they're like, man, fuck this. It costs too much. Let's just go ahead and bring brand new games up and help them produce those games and make them look better on our system. Versus these other games that everyone's going to buy anyway, because those games are going to sell themselves. FIFA is going to sell itself. It doesn't matter. Now, I know GKB is going to say, like, I know there's a big deal about marketing. I know it makes sense. I know, like, there's a lot of stuff involved in that. But those games are going to sell regardless.
Yeah, the games are going to sell, but you want to sell consoles. And that's where they're lacking right now.
And that's why I think
they need to get their install base up. Yeah. Well, I mean, you get newer stuff out there, and that's really cool. But to somebody that's like a casual, they might not like those kind of games. They might just be that Call of Duty, that Destiny player, and that's the kind of guys we need to get into the install base right now.
But they already have the console. Those guys already have a PlayStation. They already have an Xbox One. They've already made their decision. So, like, you can get FIFA over here, you can get FIFA here, but guess what? You're going to get over this side. You're going to get this game, and it's marketed by us. It's marketed like, Shadow of Mordor is marketed by us, or Shadow of War, sorry. It's marketed by us. So, like, the same argument everybody has when they walk into the store and they see nothing but FIFA and they see nothing but Destiny 2 posters with PlayStation on it. You're going to see those same things with Shadow of War, with go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but to be honest, and that was a great point. Shout out to him, 77 brought up in the chat. Speaking specifically about the FIFA deal, that the number of consoles they moved in Europe, it didn't really help. They thought it would, having that deal as far as like selling consoles. So at this point, I mean, might as well just let it go. I don't know if it was EA's issue. I know Black Tiger a minute ago just said that that was more of an EA thing. I don't know the ins and outs of the details of that. But it didn't really give them that boost in Europe like they maybe hoped or thought it would. So, I mean, not having these marketing deals, it's strategy. It's like chess. You only got so much money to spend. You think that, it's Microsoft. They got infinite amounts of money, but obviously that's not the case. Every division has its own budget, and they have to stick closely to that. And I just feel like that haven't gone out on a limb and, bought all these marketing rights to all of these third-party games, that hopefully that just means that they've kept that money in-house and decided to either put it towards a new IP, make a new studio, pay a third-party studio and make an exclusive game, things like that. You know what I'm saying? I know they still have some marketing deals. Like you said, the Shadow of War, obviously this Anthem game, if it ends up not being an exclusive, more than likely being a multi-platform.
Maybe. I mean, they haven't gotten rid of everything they're trying to keep, but I mean, like, But I can see them shying away from it. They're trying to get like the newer generation just growing up into these games that are coming out now. This makes more sense in my business professional experience.
I mean, I'm the same with you, dude. I have no experience in marketing, but I mean, over and over and over, like all generations, we've seen big third-party marketing deals do well for consoles, and I think that still rings true today. Maybe not as much as they used to, but it's still like a big thing when you walk into a GameStop, a Walmart, or whatever, and you see like PlayStation or Xbox. Hey, I got all this exclusive content and deals and stuff like that. I definitely need to get this console for that kind of thing. I mean, that still is a thing. Blam, you're botting again, bro.
The thing, marketing is super duper powerful.
But I see
that's the way you get your brand out there. No, absolutely. So, just to kind of finish my point from earlier about my predictions, I really would like to see besides Perfect Dark, that would be beautiful.
You're botting,
and
bro.
it's an IP Microsoft already.
Did you say Phantom Dust? Is that what you said?
Is that better?
There you go.
No.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I didn't know what you said there, man.
Okay, not Phantom Dust. Apologize, guys. Once again, Google guys. It was I said Perfect Dark.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to see a Perfect Dark. It's an IP they already own, so it's not going to be something that's going to cost anything. I think that'd be perfect for the stage. So I'm just hopeful that they jam pack it, and the fact that they're going overtime. Some people have been saying it's only like 10 minutes over or 6 minutes over, depending on like reports. But I don't know. Maybe it could be 30 minutes over. I'm not entirely sure what they're taking that extra time for. Who tweeted and said, "I don't want to leave any games out." That's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
That means he said, "I don't want to leave any games out." So every goddamn thing that I have. So
it's smart. Absolutely smart.
Yeah. I got an alibi too because we didn't talk about the Sega IP that supposedly they're working on with Microsoft.
Yep.
And there's a couple of games in game preview, like We Happy Few. We haven't really heard much about that game as far as its development. Some of those smaller indie titles. But you got to think they took out VR. They took out Halo.
True.
They took out.
Well, here's the thing about Halo, because there was a leak just recently.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And I was just like. It looks like DLC for Halo Wars 2, but at the bottom of the thing it says Halo 6, and I'm like,
Halo 6, and I zoomed in on it, and it looks like if you purchase it, it's one of those like you purchase it, you get access.
Like the beta.
Halo 6, that's what I kind of figured out after looking at the.
You talking about that picture that was floating around Twitter?
Yeah. And I heard it was fake, but like they said that in the past too, like something was fake and ended up being real. So
Halo 5 did that. I mean, they had a beta and stuff like that too.
So whatever 343 is. I mean,
they're cooking something.
Yeah, they have a lot to show because they have a lot to cover because they've been so quiet. Over the last 4 months, so they have to show this shit now. Again, I think they kind of realize that everybody's like, nah, man, we ain't waiting till next E3. Like you got to show this shit now. So that's why they're going over. They want to get everything in there because they know they have.
And that does seem to be the case. All indication does point towards exactly what you just said, Fred, because moving the time up, doing some of the things they've done, moving to Sunday, moving their actual E3 day that they're going to talk about these games, doing some of the things that they've done do point in that direction that, look, we need to tighten up our ship and fit all of this shit in this show. That way everybody knows what we got, so we can come out there, no holds barred, boom, 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 game after game after game. So I'm expecting to see some dope shit. So I know, did we get to you, GKB?
Yeah, but I wanted to touch on one thing because we had a great conversation before we started the show too. And it's about the price of the Scorpio and all that. And look, I think Microsoft, if you're listening, I hope you are, you need to be $399 because if you're anything higher, you're going to be destroyed no matter what you show and how fantastic your show is. Like, you really need to understand this and make sure you're at $399 because the media will destroy you any other way. So do it. This is the time. Let's go.
I'm not going to condemn them to just hold them to that because, I mean, it's business. But you're right on one hand because I feel you're right on one hand because that's going to be the narrative and that's going to be the talk of E3, despite what they show. Because we've seen it year after year, no matter how big of a bomb they drop.
it's coming out. But if that thing is like $450 or fucking $500, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't even.
Yeah,
matter.
I can hear those guys on like Podcasts Unlocked right now. Like, well, they showed a lot of games, but that price, I don't know. It's not doable for me. I can't do $499. I don't even have a 4K TV.
Yeah, we'll start seeing the motherfuckers come out the woodworks. That's for sure.
I'm so confused on what they're trying to do right now. It's $499.
Yeah, the messaging is so mixed. I don't get it. Is it an Xbox 2? Like I don't, see all kind of little random shit. So, since we've already talked about that, I want to let you guys know. I a minute ago, shout out to Black Tiger. I am going to at the very end of the podcast, it's a digital code for Sunset Overdrive. I know most people have it already because it was free. But if you don't have it, I will be doing a quick giveaway. It'll just be a random giveaway. I'll let the computer, randomly draw out whoever's in the chat, and I will be giving that away after the podcast. So stick around, so you guys have an opportunity to win that. Okay, so you just win by being here. So thank you guys for showing up. But let's go ahead and move on question that I had here today. This is a big question since we just were talking about Scorpio, and we know that's going to be the biggest thing for Microsoft. Of the show or at the beginning, and does that make a difference? So it's like a two-part question. So we'll start with you, GKB, since we already last question we started with Predator.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in the beginning of the show because I really liked what the Switch did, Nintendo guys did with theirs. They're like, here it is. This is how much it's going to cost you. This is when it's coming out, and this is what it does. And I think Microsoft just needs to do that, get that out of the way, and then get right into the games and all the stuff that they want to show us to make us hype for the Scorpio. That's the most important thing. I'd be kind of worried if they're like, hey, here's the Scorpio, and not touch on the price until the end. That would kind of worry me.
Yeah,
and there's like other people were thinking the same way. Like, well, if they showed it all up front, it might be like a high price, but then by the end, you'd forget about it, kind of thing. I don't know. Like, if they came out like right off the front, it would show confidence in what they were going to do and show and all that kind of stuff, because that's really going to be the big draw for their thing is the Scorpio. They've been hyping it up for a year. Just come out there, say it, what it does, how much it is, and move on and get into the games.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay.
But I feel like
come out. Go ahead, Julian.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, the beginning would be, for me personally, I think will be a little bit better. I mean, last E3, they kind of ended the show on a high note with the Scorpio, so I think it's only fitting that you start the show with the Scorpio this time around. Get that info out, get the pricing out. Obviously, another big thing for me is that nobody's damn console design. I'm dying to see what it looks like.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's that doesn't really matter to some people, but that's one thing we haven't really brought up. But yeah, seeing it at the beginning, I think would be super beneficial for them, just due to the fact that it'll get the conference started off on the right foot. The pricing and everything, just having that Scorpio logo or whatever name they decide to come up with it, flash right at the beginning is going to get to it.
If you
right
think
away.
about it, like,
it's going to get that momentum.
They dropped the mic in the beginning and being like, yo, it's $399. Like, everybody's just going to be in awe and be even more like crazy about the games like that they're going to show after. They're going to be like, I could totally afford this, and all these fucking games are fantastic, right? I mean, that's how I think about it.
It's on you, Pred. What are your thoughts, man? Beginning, end, middle?
I want to say the beginning. I think they came out, they typically just show like an opening scene of some game, and then they go talk about the game for a little bit, and then go right into the Scorpio. And they'll, like, whatever game they're showing, and they'll say, yeah, that game is running on the Scorpio. Speaking of Scorpio, here it is. And, here's what it can do. Here's the price. Here's when you can get it. And then, boom, here are all the games, and then,
yeah.
And like a lot of the stuff they could talk about, like, keep in mind, they've been kind of slowly leaking little tidbits of the Scorpio throughout the year, like the tech part of it. Some of that stuff doesn't need to be discussed on stage. Just show us the console. Show us the price. Get that out of the way, and so everybody can jump on Amazon, try and pre-order it as soon as possible, and be done with it, and then just go straight into the games. They don't even have to tell us it's running on Scorpio. If they show us a Scorpio in the beginning, we'll assume it's running on Scorpio at that point. If they show it at the end, everybody's going to be like, what is this running on? Is it running on PC? Is it running on this? Running on that? If they can show the system,
there'll be another question.
They show the system, show the gameplay, or just be like, hey, all these games you see today are running on the Scorpio. Yeah. Boom. done with it, and it's be.
Mm-hmm.
And if they hit, go ahead, GKB.
Sorry, real quick, man. Big shout out to the 50 plus watching us right now. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome,
But they gotta get that out of the way. I mean, we've talked about this in the past, man. They can't make any mistakes on this E3. Not one. Because if they do, they're gonna get burned. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is, they're gonna get burned on it. And like my biggest one is gonna be the price and or the look of the console. So
yeah, or the name,
or the name, yeah. Like, but you see, it all circles around the console because they've hyped it up. We've been sitting here stagnant for a year, so like that's got to be the first thing they get out of the way is that console, and then everyone knows we're getting games. I mean, you got to be like just an idiot to think that they're not going to put games out there, but they got to hit the home run with the console, and that's going to dictate how the rest of the E3 goes. And even saying that now, that kind of makes me fearful they would save it for last because they can show all the games and then be like, here's a price. Because if it sucks, if they have a shitty lead-in with the Scorpio, shitty name, it looks shitty, everything else is going to get ignored at that point. You know, everybody's going to look at the games like, okay, but like, you know, it could go both ways, but I don't want to sit here and flip-flop like that. But I really think they're going to show it in the beginning to get it out of the way. Because they've been hyped over this console, you know, they've been really wanting to show this for so long, talk about it, get it out of the way in the beginning. Just be done.
Big thing too, Fred, is that people don't understand it. When Digital Foundry went to Washington, went to Xbox headquarters, he's talked about this. The reason that they went there and did that was so that they can get that portion, those questions that people would have about technology inside the console, all that kind of stuff. Get that shit out the way first. So, and that's what I said back then when it happened. Is that was part of the reason why they did that, and they gave Digital Foundry that exclusive information so that they wouldn't have to answer those questions at E3. Now it's just time to show the motherfucker, show it, show the price, show the games running on it, and that's it. It's pretty simple at this point. So, reason why they did that back then. A lot of people made a big deal out of it, but that was the only reason that they went ahead and did that, is just so that they don't have these questions and issues swirling around E3. Oh, well, all these hardware tech questions and shit, you know. Let's just talk about the games, the price of the console. We know what it's going to do at this point. We know the ins and outs, hardware, software, whatever it can be. Let's just see it. It's going to cost. So I'm hyped for it. I'm glad that they did it that way. You know, but they got that shit out the way first.
And you know the good thing about them, now that we're getting to see it, like, and especially at E3, now everybody can talk about it. Everyone who's touched it can actually open up and talk about it now. So even if they don't get to discuss everything they want to talk about on stage about the Scorpio, you have all those after shows, you know, and all the interviews that are going to happen at E3 that people are going to talk about the Scorpio and hype it up a little bit. Show. Yeah, like all those shows that come on where like Major Nelson will be sitting there talking about it, and you know Aaron Greenberg will be sitting there talking about it and stuff like that. They can get some of that stuff, the technical aspects of it, and like all that stuff that's gonna be boring on stage. They can get that out of the way there. Save the stage just for the reveal and for the games. Get all the other shit out of the way.
You can show the UI and all that other kind of stuff on the other shows. We don't.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't need to talk about it on stage. I don't think they will. I don't think they've ever done that in the past either. But But I was like you just said, man. They brought all that shit up at Digital Foundry in the beginning for a reason, just to get it out of the way, and that's good they did that because it's and adding extra time to it and taking out shit that no one wants to see, like not no one, but like the AR and VR stuff like that, taking that out of the E3 conference and adding more time to it lets us know they got something going on special. So man, I can't wait till tomorrow.
It's gonna be awesome.
Cool. So that was a great question, great topic, guys. Moving right along to the last question of the day here before we take a couple questions. Shout out to everybody. Chat is going up. 50 people in here watching live. Once again, guys, thank you guys for the continued support. I know I've been going for a while, but you guys always show true love every time I come back. So thank you so much for that, guys. So last question we have here, Sony's marketing deal bonanza. What I mean by that is that Sony's been chomping up all of these third-party marketing deals. We've already Destiny, we know about Call of Duty. What's the other big one? Red Dead Redemption 2. I think Sony has that one on.
Yep.
So what do you guys think? You guys think that is a distraction, or you guys feel like that's just a smart move on behalf of Sony? just gobbling up all of these major third-party games coming out. We'll start with you.
I'm assuming he said me since I think you went first last year.
Yeah.
So, people call it fear. People call it, the fact they don't have any games coming out the second half of the year. And I think it's a mixture of that, trying to offset the Scorpio by showing all these marketing, all these games are marketing on their system, so you can't see it running the better version on the Scorpio. It's a great marketing strategy for Sony. If they're not going to have any games coming out, first party games coming out, why not grab all these games that are being marketed? Why not market all these games that are coming out multi-plat and kind of push the Scorpio narrative out of the picture by only showing these games running on their system? Now, we will still see those games running on the Scorpio. Just keep that in mind, people. Like, the only thing you're going to see is just the ads. Like, you'll still see stuff on YouTube and stuff like that running on Scorpio. It's not against the law for anyone else to stream it using their system of choice. But just as far as the commercials and stuff like that go, and what you see in the stores, it's all going to have a PS4 logo on it. But they're still coming to the Scorpio. But it is a genius strategy for them to go out and trying to get these deals. And I don't know how long these marketing things are for. Like the Destiny one, I think it's for 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. But some of these may just be 1-year pops. They may be for 3 years, maybe for 5, 10. We don't know. But I'm not gonna say it's come and bite them in the ass later. But those things are expensive. Those deals are pretty expensive. Now, they are also the console leader, in the industry darling as well, as far as this generation goes. So it isn't just that, they're going after them. I actually think that, like with the case of FIFA's like, well, you're the market leader, so we want to go where all the consoles are being sold. So it may just be these companies really trying to go after Sony as well to get their name out there with the market leader. So it may not even be Sony's ultimate doing, but they're being offered this. And it's the same strategy Microsoft did last gen. And it'll probably swap over the next generation if people start coming back to the Xbox side. It just depends. I mean, like, it's a brilliant strategy for them. It's going to pay off for them as far as console sales go. But, at some point, the consoles are going to stop selling. They're not going to continue to,
there's only so many gamers in the world.
Only so many gamers out there. There's only so many people that need more than one console. So it's going to slow down at some point, and they're going to be stuck with these marketing deals until the PS5 comes out. But guess what happens then? Those deals may run out by then, and you'll have the Scorpio sitting over here with no marketing deals going on, and Microsoft may have the money by then to actually scoop back up some of these other deals. So it's going to keep flip-flopping back and forth over the next 10, 15, 20 years. Right now, it's just in favor of Sony. It'll flop back over in another 5 years to Microsoft. So I wouldn't take too much of it and put too much backing into it right now, unless they do a shitty launch tomorrow at E3. But that's my take on it. So,
okay, well, no, a lot of good points there, and I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it was smart on Sony's behalf to do that. Just knowing Sony traditionally, this generation, in the last 6 months of the year, don't have much. Look at the last 2 Christmases; they haven't had much of anything coming out. What was out last Christmas, I believe. They maybe had like 2 games come out within the last 6 months.
They had,
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember exactly what games were, but it wasn't a whole lot going on the last 6 months of the year. So that's smart, so they can get on that bandwagon and get the Call of Duty crowd. They get the Red Dead crowd. They get those third-party marketing deals. So it's smart on their behalf. But like you said, it's not the end-all, be-all. It's nice to have them. Yeah, we have DLC for a year, or yeah, we have this and this and that for a limited amount of time. But at the end of the day, I think new IPs and new ideas, innovation, will overcome that ultimately. So GKB, it's on you, brother.
Yeah, man, I've been saying this for like months. I think how do you combat a potentially much stronger console than you is go out there and get every freaking game, possibly the biggest games of the year, so that console can't show any of those being played on it. That's an absolutely smart play by Sony. I think they're gonna also have, you know, like their first party stuff like Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff too, which I'm excited for. Like I'm really excited about the Spider-Man game and that Lost Legacy Uncharted. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's all just to combat what Microsoft is doing at the end of the day. I mean, that's really just about it. Like, there's really nothing else to say. That's why they did it. Yeah, not much else to say about it.
Good
Predator
point.
did a pretty good job of explaining it, man.
Yeah, look like you wrapped that one up. You gift wrapped that bad boy, Fred. We don't have much to say about that, brother. All right, so we're gonna take a couple questions. You guys know how I typically do towards the end of the show here. We're wrapping it up. We'll take about 2 questions from the chat before I got to get out of here. My family just went down to the pool and left me, so
What?
Yeah, I'm solo now. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So 2 questions. If you know have any questions that you want me to ask the panel, go ahead and let us know right now. I'm also going to announce the winner of the code for Sunset Overdrive, but once again, it just was randomly picked from everybody here in the chat, and I will be announcing that winner after we take these couple questions. So just let us know if you have any questions. Throw them down in the chat right now. Let's see what we got. I know we had a couple earlier
because I can't scroll back for an hour.
Yeah.
There's one by Easy Man.
Yeah, Easy Man 77. Shout out, man. He's always in here rocking that with us. So he said, what Sega games you think or would like to see brought back and on Xbox stage? Sega has a lot of shit.
Yeah, like
you guys got any ideas?
Like Vanquisher 1 just came out on the PC and stuff, and that's actually a really good game, and I'd like to see a sequel to that done on the new generation of consoles and stuff like that. I'd also like to see like Phantasy Star Online. That was huge back on I think it was the Dreamcast.
Yeah, Phantasy Star Online.
Oh man, trying to think off the top of my head with some Sega stuff.
Shit, Sega or Capcom? Wasn't there a rumor about Capcom showing something?
Oh, Capcom's definitely gonna be showing some stuff for Xbox. I know some of the stuff, but I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Hey,
I'm not spoiling anything.
Okay, cool. So, anybody else want to any other ideas as far as any Sega games you guys may think?
They already got a Sonic coming out. They got Yakuza coming out. Maybe like you said, Phantasy Star. Maybe Shinobi.
And the new
Alex
stuff
Kidd.
that they're working on.
Yeah, Alex Kidd or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, Sega's a great company. They got a lot of IPs that I'd love to see come back. Same thing with Capcom. Same thing with a lot of those Japanese companies.
Shout out to Sega too, man, for coming out and being like, "Hey, we heard you guys, and we're putting a shit ton of money into these IPs and new IPs." Like that's the way to get back into the game for sure.
You know what I think they should do, and then maybe they're doing this anyway. Maybe their marketing deal is like something like the Rare Replay, but like this Sega Replay on just Xbox.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You think so? That would be cool.
That would actually be pretty
cool. Instead of having all the games like this is a new IP, just bring out all the old classics they had on one, like a $30 replay. Yeah, that would be perfect for like $15-$20, something, $30 even maybe, depending on how many games are there. That would be dope. Oh, Borderlands 3. That's funny. So me and GKB were just talking about Borderlands 3 too. That would be awesome too. See that on stage. All right, so
good possibility you're gonna see that tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, we got a couple other questions too. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab. I know Easy Man got a lot of questions, so I'm gonna grab somebody else real quick. I think Kurt. Well, I guess that's kind of a question. So he said, "Do you guys think that Sega would plausibly work on Scalebound to revive it?"
Ooh, I was thinking about that too, man. Like,
oh man, I didn't think about that at all.
They're talented developers up there. I could definitely see them taking all the assets and stuff and reworking it for sure and keep it going. They renewed the IP and all that kind of stuff in the name. They're definitely probably going to bring it back at some point. I think it's still a little too early to show anything or talk about it, but yeah, I think it's a good possibility.
Okay, that actually would be a really cool idea. That's another developer. I know we've been talking about like Fable and some, another developer taking on Fable, but Scalebound is another game that's kind of floating around. It's kind of in limbo at this point, so I know they didn't get rid of it. So I'd love to see Sega take that game, do whatever with it. It probably wouldn't be anything out anytime soon. Maybe a year or two from now, we'll probably get something. But I think that's a cool idea, though, honestly. So, all right, cool. Anybody else want to say?
I'll touch on Easy Man's question about the backwards compatibility stuff real quick.
Okay.
That's
Sure.
An example of a platform trying to down talk somebody else's like stuff that they wish they could do on their platform. And I thought what was even funnier about like the whole backwards compatibility talk is the Microsoft guys come out and said, no, you're pretty much wrong about that. Like 50% of the people that are using that, the player base are actually using backwards compatibility. So Sony's definitely wrong on that point, and they need to do something about that.
Even Phil said, he said, I look at the MPDs. We know backwards compatibility is something that's useful. Like I see the MPDs every month. Like I got all of the data.
I mean, if it wasn't that big, why would Call of Duty games come out and then instantly the servers have hundreds of thousands of people playing them? It doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, and it's funny. Like they have the Game Pass. I got the 14-day trial finally unlocked the other day. My stepson's here. He is not. Backstory here. So my stepson doesn't live here. So when he comes here, he's a PlayStation guy. So I bought him a PlayStation. The PlayStation that you saw on my Twitter was really for him. It's in his room. He's not touched that thing. He's been over here playing backwards compatibility games on the Game Pass. Like, since I had to kick him out of here before this podcast. Like he's been playing nothing but Game Pass games on back and pass. So yes, it works. It's like, you have these younger generations of kids who
never
don't
even seen
play these games. They've never seen these things. Like I showed him a picture of I showed him a picture of my Sega Master System from years ago. He's like, what the fuck is that? And like these are the games we played on. So we went on YouTube, looked at some of the games and stuff like that. But like some of these kids have never played these games before. They never get a chance to. And like the way Sony's doing it is like, you'll never get a chance to play them because they're not bringing them out unless you pay $60 for them. Whereas it is now, you got it. It's yours forever. You play it now. Like you don't have to put a disc in. You can just pop it in, download it, and play it. And it's. I mean,
to touch on Predator's point, like right there, like absolutely, man. Because you remember the first time you played like Gears or like some fantastic title, like new IP that came out on like the 360 and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
That's what I see with my kids when they're playing like backward compatibility games, and it like touches my heart too because you could see it in their eyes and they're having that same feeling you did back in the day, like when you played that game for the first time, and that's fantastic, man.
It was funny because he's a huge Call of Duty fan. He was asking me, "Have you ever played Battle? Not Call of Duty. I'm sorry." Bad Company. He's a Battlefield fan. So he asked me about one of the Bad Company games, one of the old 360 titles or whatever it was. And I said, yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up on Game Pass. And he's been playing the fuck out of it. Like he asked me about these old games. Did you ever play this game? Did you ever play that game when you were a kid? Did you ever play this? I'm like, yeah. I mean, like it's actually on back and pat right now. You can play it now, And he loves it. That's just one example. But like for them to come out and be like, no one's using it. How do they know? They don't have it. They can't give any metrics on something they don't have. Maybe the games that were re-releasing, maybe the games that they're re-releasing as remasters aren't selling as well as they want them to. However, on our side, the games that are coming out, like the Red Dead, the Call of Duty, stuff like that, we are playing these games. Like we're not paying a full $60 price for them either. Like they're doing with the
absolutely
remaster.
So I mean, anybody. I mean, let's. Anybody worth their right mind, all it does is take a quick Google search and you can see how popular these back and pack games have been. People screaming month after month for Call of Duty, Skate, and all these other games, and Red Dead, and for months on end, games to be made. Once they get put on the system, they shoot right up the damn lists to the top of the Amazon, bestsellers list immediately, like within 10 minutes of the announcement, they go right up the top of the list. So it's our breaks here. So they do fantastic.
Like how pro-consumer is like Game Pass anyway? Yeah, there's a lot of like backwards compatibility games on there and stuff, but there's still some other stuff. But you're paying literally 10 cents for a game, like for 100 games. That's fucking crazy good stuff for you guys.
Yeah. And another, let me talk about one more thing. See, when we see these MPDs, we don't see all of the MPD. Like just because it's backward compat, like I think they show what the top 20 in the MPDs most of the time. Is that am I correct on that? So like for a backwards compat game that hasn't been played in 5-10 years, to even jump in the top 50 is a good thing. And that's what Phil's probably thinking, like when he says that I see the MPDs, because like we is like us looking in, like we probably only see what we see on the internet, like the top 20 games, but like they probably see the sales of all these games. And for a game that hasn't been touched in 10 years, or 5 years, whatever, to come out on back and pat and jump into the top 50 of an NPD is a big thing. So for Sony to say that, it's just an asinine comment. Like they don't
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know. They don't
They're
have
just
it.
trying
So
to
they can't
downplay somebody else's thing because they don't have it. Period. And they're wishing they did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I bet they do that.
We're gonna keep talking forever, bro.
I bet they do back and pat when they put their PS5 out there. I bet they try it.
Yeah, probably.
You think so? I don't think that. We'll see.
I don't know, like the cell processors and all. It's probably hard to emulate that thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They that's the same company that said it wasn't possible at one point, but we'll see.
That's true.
We'll definitely
they did say that.
See. So wrap up the show, guys. Once again, we had a great show. I'm going to announce the winner of the actual Sunset Overdrive code. Let me go ahead and plug it in right now, and it'll spit somebody's name out here.
Oh shit! It's Predator. Wow.
All right. So the winner, I wish I had a drum roll, but I don't. The winner of the actual code for the game is going to be, looks like Beta Cypher.
Oh, Beta Cypher, what's up, dude?
Yeah, Beta Cypher, man. So what I'll do is, Beta, I'm gonna find you on Twitter, and I'm gonna actually DM you. I'll screenshot the code, then I'll DM to you. You got, about an hour or two to actually get back to me. Otherwise, I'll have to, pass along the code to somebody else. So hit me up on Twitter, man. Shoot me a DM or just send me a regular Twitter message and say, hey, I'm here. That way I can go ahead and shoot you that code. That way you can get the game. So congratulations, brother. You just won Sunset Overdrive. Hope you didn't have it already. He did say I have the game already. Okay. Well, okay. So
do you want
give
it,
to
Cypher?
you anyway.
Yeah, if you want it, go for it.
I'm going to give it to you anyway. And you want it, so fair and square, so you can gift it to somebody else.
Give it away. He said give it away.
Just give it away. Oh, give it to somebody else. Okay. All right. So real time. Got to let the internet. What's another cool way we can do this, man?
Twitter, bro.
Twitter? Okay, so guys, this is what we'll do. Me and GKB, prior to the Shop podcast, I won't say prior to that, but we had another podcast me and him used to do where we used to ask video game related questions and answers. So what I'll do is I'm going to get on Twitter, guys, after the podcast here in a minute, and I'm going to post a video game related trivia question. And the first person to hit me back with the right answer will receive the Sunset Overdrive digital code. Okay, so that's kind of the easiest way and the most fair way. I'll put the question up. First person to DM me the answer, the right answer, obviously, is going to get the code. All right, so. Looks like everybody heard that, so you guys got an idea of what you need to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and round the panel at this point. Let you guys introduce yourself. Let everybody know here where you're gonna be, where they can find you at. So go ahead, Predator.
Hey, Predator H2OS on Twitter, on everything basically, PlayStation, Xbox, YouTube. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs on Twitter. I'm at 464, I think, right now. So make sure you guys follow me there. Follow my content on my channel, the Xbox After Party. I have not done any content since I got back from the Middle East. Maybe one video, I believe. But other than that, I've been kind of stagnant on there. I got family in town right now, so I'll get back to doing that. I've been on the shop. I've been on Console Corner, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and Crossfire a couple of times the last couple of weeks. So you'll find me out here. I'm on Twitter all the time. Just follow me, sub me. You know the routine, and thank you guys for tuning in to the shop. I hope to see you guys next week.
And send him a bunch of tweets about him making more videos, please. Everybody that subscribes to him, send him videos. Get on his ass about these videos. I know I take my little hiatuses, but we need more videos from Predator. He has great content, guys. So if you have not got a chance to go to his channel, check it out. He does a lot of good shit, man. A lot real underrated. So go follow him, go subscribe.
Absolutely.
So next on the slate, this man does not need an introduction. Tell everybody where
what's up, everybody. It's GKB, aka the Governor. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Gamers Knows Best. We're streaming the crap out of every E3 conference this weekend. We already did the EA. Fantastic response from you guys. We're over 3,400 views already. You guys absolutely loved it, and we're going to continue to give you all that kind of stuff. Big shout out to the 275 plus that were watching us live. Thank you so much. But come rock out with us all weekend. It's going to be a great time. Big shout out to the Console Corner fam, Fox, Magic Mike, Noof, She-Wolf, and myself. Love you guys, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Always a pleasure being on Shop Podcast.
Awesome. Nice. For sure. And another thing, guys, if you don't know, I will be streaming, doing a podcast tomorrow during Microsoft's E3 press conference. So hit me up. Come rock out with us. There's going to be a bunch of podcasts, Xbox-related podcasts, doing things. But I'm also going to be doing one, so it's going to be me. I know you're probably going to be doing your own GKB because you guys are going to be streaming that. It's going to be me, Jarhead, Predator, more than likely, Triple Cup Chuck, maybe a couple other people, guys. So, stop by the podcast, shoot your shit with us, watch the event with us. It's going to be fun. So we're going to go live about 30 minutes before the actual show.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get some predictions in before that, like some last minute predictions. And then we'll be live during the show, and then we'll be live afterwards too for a short period of time. So come out tomorrow, rock with us about 1:30 or so. I think Microsoft starts at 2, correct? 2 Pacific time is what I read.
I know it's 5 p.m. Eastern on mine.
5 p.m. Yeah, so it's 2 Pacific.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. All right, cool. So thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, is there a game night tonight, GKB?
I'm gonna try them in. Like I got a bunch of stuff I'm working on.
Man,
so.
you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, if GKB decides to do a game night, I'm pretty sure he'll put it up on Twitter. He'll make sure everybody knows the best game night in the Xbox community. In my opinion, they put on a great show. They always, let everybody in. It's always a good time. As long as you're not in there being an asshole, you're good.
So the rule, don't be an asshole.
Asshole. So as long as you're not being one of those, you're fine. So, by the way, everybody, follow me on Twitter here on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, guys. My goal is 1,500 subs by the end of the year. So hopefully I can hit that mark, man. I'm trying to do it, man. More consistency is what I need to do, obviously. But if you guys can help me out with that, that would be great. I do have a family vlog channel also too. Please go subscribe to that. I'll put all of that down in the description below. I'll put these two gentlemen's channels in the description below also too. So thank you guys for rocking out with us. We are out of here. See you guys see you guys tomorrow and next week for the Shop Podcast. So you guys have a good one. We are out of here. Take it easy.
See you.